All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this session here at Pharma Manufacturing Europe in Berlin. My name is David Lutz, and today I'd like to share a case study from Johnson & Johnson in Switzerland. It's the case study on how we train our workforce for a complex MES implementation and make sure that it's not only becoming successful, but also sustainable. Let me first start with some context. Our site in Schaffhausen employs around 2,000 people, including 300 contractors. It's one of J&J's most important manufacturing sites, producing some of our most recognized medicines. And over the past 3 decades, J&J has invested more than 1.5 billion Swiss francs into this site, in new technologies, in new facilities, and of course, in our people. We're also deeply connected with our community, supporting hundreds of local businesses every year. The scale and complexity also brings challenges. We manage thousands of SKUs among solids, parenterals, and APIs. And we run everything from granulation, encapsulation, to optical inspection and packaging. And with such complexity, training and operational readiness are not just a nice to have, they're mission critical. At Johnson & Johnson, our foundation is our credo. Written in 1943, it reminds us that we are accountable to our patients, to our employees, to our communities, and to our shareholders. This credo is more than just words on a wall. It shapes how we think of transformation. And it's why training and preparing our people is always at the center of any major change. A few words about myself. I lead organizational change management for MES at J&J in Schaffhausen, Switzerland. In practice, this means helping more than 1,500 people get ready for a completely new way of working. My background is in business transformation consulting, and my focus has always been on the people side of change. And I strongly believe in one simple truth: if we want success, we must train for it. MES implementation is not just a technical rollout, it's a human transformation. So without training, even the best system will fail to deliver value. Think of training as the green light for performance. It empowers users, reduces risks, and ensures adoption. So we've all seen what happens without proper training, right? No training means chaos on day one. It causes errors, delays, and frustration. Minimal training gets people through, but it creates hesitation, dependency on support, and low confidence. Proper training, on the other hand, changes everything. It creates efficiency, confidence, and real return on investment. Training is the bridge between technology and transformation. This is why I say people, not systems, drive change. A MES is only as smart as its users, and technology needs capable hands. So when users are trained, day one is smooth. When users understand the system, adoption grows and resistance fades. And most importantly, training builds confidence, and confidence is what drives sustainable transformation. Now, let me share our story. At Schaffhausen, we are replacing an old hybrid solution. It's a mix of SAP-based tools, paper forms, and checklists with COBOS PassX. And this is not just a system upgrade, it's a full transformation. From paper to digital, from manual to automated, from fragmented to integrated. The question is, how do we prepare such a large workforce to make this leap? It's a massive step, and it touches everyone, from operators on the shop floor to QA reviewers and operations managers. The challenge here is clear. We have to get everyone ready, not just technically, but also mentally. This picture shows the system infrastructure after implementation. The blue color indicates the transformational changes, and as you can see, there's many. From batch record review by exception to electronic logbooks to direct integration with equipment. The message here is the system is not just getting enhanced, it's getting reimagined. And this is why our people have to reimagine their daily work as well. So, what does this mean for our stakeholders? Well, for operators, it means documenting in real time using a guided user interface. For QA, it means moving from reviewing entire batch records to focusing mainly on exceptions. For equipment management, it means automated logbooks and integration with MES. For IT and support, it means new skills and a stronger role in daily operations. In short, every group has to learn new ways of working, and training is the key to making that possible. Of course, none of this happened overnight. Our implementation follows a timeline that includes preparation, system build, testing, training, and finally, go lives. Each of these steps depend on the previous one, and training is the element that connects them all together. So far, we went live in 2 business units with more business units to follow until 2028. So, let me walk you through our training concept. We designed a layered approach that combines e-learnings, simulation lines, classroom trainings, and self-learning in the development environment. The idea is simple. Learning should not be one size fits all. It should be tailored, flexible, and practical. So here's how it works in practice. We start with e-learnings on our Summit platform. Those are interactive modules that can be completed anytime, anywhere. Then we set up a simulation line where people can experience PASX in a safe environment and just do their first steps in the system. Then we follow up with classroom training for critical processes supported by test orders in the development environment. And finally, we encourage self-learning with power users available to support their colleagues. This combination gives our people the flexibility to learn at their own pace while also preparing them for real-life situations. This approach has several benefits. First, it gives flexibility. The people can complete the e-learnings independently. It increases accessibility by reducing fear and allowing first steps in a safe environment. It keeps classroom trainings focused, so valuable time is used for critical topics rather than teaching basic navigation. And most importantly, it builds confidence and ownership amongst our people. So here's an example of what this looks like for an operator. It starts with project onboarding and change impact e-learnings. Then come PASX e-learnings followed by invitations to simulation training. Operators practice with test orders in the development environment supported by power users. They join classroom sessions and participate in wet testing activities. Finally, before go live, we provide hypercare training, and we stand by them on day one. This journey ensures that operators don't just receive training, they experience learning step by step. And here you can see some impressions from our simulation line and classroom sessions. These aren't theoretical lectures. These are hands-on, interactive, and designed to make people comfortable with the system before it truly matters. Now, what did we learn from this experience so far? First, dry runs, verification, and wet testing are crucial to building power user skills. Second, early hands-on experience is more valuable than theory alone. Third, self-training in the development environment is highly effective for building confidence. And fourth, repeating e-learnings, especially after some hands-on practice, significantly increases understanding. But there are also challenges, of course. We realized that training had to be as close as possible to go live, otherwise knowledge is lost. We learned that our training GMBRs have to be very accurate to avoid confusion. And we discovered that practical dev training, even before e-learnings, could actually improve understanding. So last but not least, we have learned not to underestimate the resources required for training, because training an entire department in a short time frame is not easy. That leads me to the broader challenges. We have to train a large number of stakeholders, all with different roles and needs. Time is always a constraint. Operators have limited capacity to learn next to daily business. And power users who are expected to support their colleagues are not always the most motivated or the most capable. So the reality is, training is not just a design challenge, it's a people challenge. To support business readiness, we have created additional deliverables. So for instance, we have built a MES landing page on SharePoint for easy access to information and support. We developed troubleshooting guides, posters, and hypercare roadmaps. And we are using these not just as materials, but as tools to build visibility and engagement. We also run change impact analysis, so they are essential to identify what is really changing for whom. Because people don't resist change itself, they just resist not knowing how it will affect them. By making impacts clear, we help each stakeholder group understand their role in the transformation. To keep the project visible, we also promote it actively through internal channels such as Viva Engage. The idea is simple. The more people hear about the project, the less surprising it feels and the easier it is to embrace. Of course, training is only successful if it delivers results. So we defined clear KPIs to measure adoption, knowledge, and system performance. Because without measurement, it's impossible to know if our training approach really worked. So what do we measure? We look at adoption rates, how many users actually are using the system in the daily work. We measure knowledge retention through quizzes and assessments. We track deviations and support ticket volumes. We also gather user feedbacks, measure time to proficiency, and we assess audit readiness. Together, these indicators give us a clear picture of training translates into performance. So, what is the key message from all of this? Technology alone does not transform manufacturing. It's people who drive transformation. And when we train them properly, when we give them confidence and clarity, we don't just enable a go live, We enable lasting change. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope this case study gave you practical insights into how training can make or break a MES implementation. I look forward to your questions. Thank you.